Alles gut.
Good. Ordnung.
How are you?
The sun is behind you.
Not nice?
What? What? Everything's good. Super good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me well? Okay. So, how are you doing? How was your week?
I'm good. How was the week? Full. Full of
What?
things.
Good things?
Yeah, only
Lots of
good things.
creativity?
Sorry?
Lots of creativity?
Yes. Yes, a lot. A lot of creativity. And I mean, concerning my own project, the one with friend, I got a little bit like, I got a little bit lost into things, but it's good, like gathering very different information and trying out things that are like maybe a bit out of the thing, but I was like, whatever. I feel like doing this, so let's do this. And it gave me joy somehow, so it was okay.
Amazing. And what about the process? Do you have any progress?
Yes, so now this week what I did is that I wrote in English because so far, as I told you, it came from writing in French, my native language. And so now I wanted to just try it. This is a really big question for me. We're in Germany. I do speak German, but we're in Berlin, which is like the most multicultural.
You're stuck.
It's me? It's my connection?
I don't know, but we got disconnected.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I paused the
So
video.
I was saying that the question of language is so important. Um, Sometimes I also find it problematic that it's just assumed that everybody talks English,
Uh-huh.
On the other hand, I think that places such as the Gorky Theater are amazing places that totally are defending something that I believe in. Because having a theater where you have all those languages and where creators can create in their own language, really like re-question this idea of the territory and the nation, and saying that like Germany is okay, is German, but Germany is full of people from everywhere, and this is also their case. So I find this totally right, but it's not an obvious question, and so in my piece, because the text is so important, because I want to play on all those levels of language and also on semantic, on the meaning of the word. I'm a bit like and I wrote in English, and it's nice, it's beautiful, but I don't it's probably not proper English, and it's also.
But why do you feel obliged to write in English if you feel more comfortable to write in French? You feel it's necessary for the text to be communicative for a multicultural.
Because I do want to work on the meaning as well,
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't understand a word, I think it's fine, because I also treat this text as musicality, as rhythm, as so all those layers. But it's also, yeah. So that's, yeah, that's the question I'm having. And obviously it
The
works
text
also in English.
exactly. The text is like it's a story. It's an abstract text. Is it poetry? Is it story? Prose? What's the nature
I
of?
think, yeah, I think it's a poetical text, and I think you can really associate it with the stream of consciousness as well. So I go from one word that where I'm gonna peel all the variations of this word and the connection that my brain makes. So sometimes the connections are rhythmical. Sometimes they are semantic, you know, like a word like sleeping, and then I would go to sleeping, slipping, or I would go to sleepwalker, and from sleepwalker I can go to skyscraper, because somehow it's not connected, but for me it's the same family of word, but it's just instinctive, and I think it reveals a lot of things from language. And so it's basically just an enumeration, just like a very big list. And sometimes there is a sentence in the middle, but it's rare. So then it has a special effect. So yeah, I'm bothered with this question of meaning.
You can also write it in French and then translate it, no? And then maybe enjoy both worlds somehow, or I don't know. You can, I don't know, having the freedom while writing to write in your own language where you feel comfortable, and then.
Yes, that's why I wrote this native friend of mine. I'm waiting for her answer to have a discussion over this. But you know, a lot of people are telling me, Margaux, it doesn't matter, write in French and do it in French, you know. So yeah.
So just to remind myself to see that I'm correct. So the work should be through a glass, right? And it's a physical work. Someone's dancing or choreographic work, and then with speakers or with earphones, someone will stand. The viewer is standing on the other side of the glass and can hear the voice or the sound of the piece and see it through the glass.
That's it.
Okay.
That's right. I write the text, I dance towards my text behind a glass, and the spectator is on the other side and gets in headphones the soundtrack that I'm dancing to.
It's interesting, like you're dancing in silent, like in a silent movie or something from the other side, and then you can hear the music, not live, kind of, yeah.
You work with intimacy as well, you know, because then you're alone one-to-one. It has a little bit of something of a peep show as well, but it's abstract movement. So, you know, and it's also, it's a text that is poetic for sure. So it's also intimate, and it's inside your ears, you know, but you're confronted with the person, but I'm not gonna enter in contact with you at all. I'm not gonna, maybe at the end, but this I don't say because I want to experience it in real, not talk about it. So it's like passing next to each other, you know, like experiencing a moment of real intimacy, but never getting in touch. So
Yeah.
It's like all those humanities in the streets, you know, passing in front of each other and missing each other. And
yeah, and it's a solo piece, right? It's just you?
Yes.
And you're also going to read the text?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could send you a track.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't know if I send something, does it become public or you get it personally?
I mean, whatever you choose. If you want it, I mean, I think it's interesting for people. We all all the time we encourage, you know, the artists to upload additional stuff to the videos of the process, because I think it's interesting to see the conversations, to see what comes out of the process.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you feel comfortable with you know, I mean, don't feel pressured to put anything you're not, you know, comfortable with. But I would like to hear it anyway. So if you feel like sending it to me and not upload it,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah,
But
no.
I guess I will do it because also maybe it's just so abstract, you know. For me, it's so clear, and I'm telling you those things, and you know, like maybe for people that even are not necessarily in touch with this, with an artistic practice
Yeah.
of, you know, writing, it's like, what the hell is she talking about?
No, but people are aware, you know, that it's a process and people are trying things, and you also explain in the videos what you're doing, so people can, you know, they can see the conversation and then see and try, like they have this speak, like they get, you know, explanations from the conversation, I guess. But you know, whatever you decide, it's not just.
Yeah, I have
Think
an
about.
idea now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
no problem.
maybe I will write you an email and propose you something.
Okay. So right now you're still struggling with the writing and trying to figure out if you're going to do it in English and French, and
Yeah,
how
there
long is
is
it going to be, you know, the entire.
exactly, and that's the second thing I'm busy with, is that I have the feeling that this piece can have different formats. I think it's a piece that can also end up in a proper theater without the glass thing, and like this is also something that is also possible. Um, but in this special frame, um, I'm really questioning what is the format of it, because it could be also almost like a jukebox, you know, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
come, you have 15 minutes with me, and then there is a sweep over, and then there is someone else, and then there's someone else, and I just like write down the rules outside on the door
like
and like
24
find.
hours, kind of. Yeah, you just
That's
not in the room and people can just look at you like
yes.
in a cage or
So
something. Yeah.
this could be one thing, and then it's really not the same to choreograph for 15-20 minutes, or if I have to make an hour piece, you know.
Mhm.
So and I
What do
notice
you
when
think?
pardon, sorry.
What do you think? I mean, what?
I guess that I'm attracted to this format of 20 minutes
Yeah,
somehow,
me
because
too.
it's
Ah,
something I've
40
never,
minutes. Okay. Uh-huh.
and it's something I've never done, and I think I like this challenge, and I like also that to accept that those conditions are really really unique. So let's, you know, go
So
all the
what do you think
way.
exactly 40 minutes? You're going to do something like a show in 40 minutes and then
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So the person comes,
Yeah.
the person watches, it's 20 minutes,
Okay.
and then the show is over. I have the end. I know how it can end, so this is
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least this is good. um, and then the next person can come,
Yeah.
and
So,
since I'm keeping the choreographic part improvised, so to say, like we call it instant composition.
mhm.
Basically a bit like a jazz tune. It's like you have a structure, you know what you're doing, but then within it
Yeah.
you can still play to keep also the aliveness. um and so you keep the rebound between the text and dance. So yeah, and then the next one comes in and then goes, and then the next one and then goes,
And you're
and
going to do it for a few hours, like this cycle. So
yes, yes, yes,
I
yes,
like it. Sounds interesting. But every time it's in front of one person. Oh, okay.
yes. I'm thinking
Private
either
dancing.
one. Quoi?
Private dancing. Yeah. Private dancer. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's interesting.
Um,
Every time you're dancing for a specific, like specific person, every time it's a bit different. Like
yes,
person can bring something into, like can feel that he brings also something into the, I don't know. Yeah, to
yeah,
the.
yeah. If you're yeah, for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's more interesting than just doing, you know, a 40 minutes, 50-minute performance and that's
Yeah,
it. I don't know.
yeah. And I'm really interested to, if I have a slot like a whole weekend, let's say this happens on weekends, and I also don't want to make, you know, publicity like the show of Margaux, Marielle-Trehoüart is at 8, come at this, you know, but just like try to see if I can reach a place where this is happening and it's in front of a glass window.
People on the street stop and
exactly, and then they pass each other the word. You know, if I nail it well, I think people can stay. People could maybe stay 16 minutes with me. And then you know, they pass each other the word. I don't know, you know, and just to be a reminder, but it's not another production that is put out. It's just to remind the people that right now.
Oh no, you're stuck again.
Oh. Yeah, I just said that.
Now it's back again. So I lost you for a minute.
No, No. It's maybe probably my connection is.
Yeah, I don't know. It happens quite often.
No, I said that for me, it's also a way to not put another production out there. And so just a place to, you know, people to realize, actually, you know, theater is necessary.
Yeah, it's
and right now
to try to, I don't know how to say, to you know, to somehow bring in people that are not necessarily the you know, the common audience of this kind of.
Also, absolutely.
People just stopping by and suddenly seeing something they didn't plan to, you know, to see.
Exactly.
I remember one time when I was 16 or 15, my father directed. He was a writer and director of theater, and he had this piece coming up, and it was like the, you know, the first, like the final rehearsal or something, and there weren't enough people like in the crowd. It was in Jaffa, in Tel Aviv, you know, in Israel. So I went with a few friends, just found people on the street, you know, traveling, and just told them, listen, there's a play going on if you want to come. And it was quite a very vulgar comedy, like very, very aggressive and vulgar and sexual, and I don't know, and you know, so we found these couples walking romantically on the beach or something, telling them, and I remember looking at them after the show, and they were like, I don't think they stayed together after that. No, but it was nice also because, you know, it was so unpredictable, you know, to find someone that just, you know, to find people on the street that just all of a sudden they caught into this performance that they didn't expect and didn't plan to. I think it's an interesting thing.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Okay, great. So you have any plans, like what do you want to achieve in the, I don't know, the next few weeks, days, I mean, until next week?
Yeah, I want to talk about this question of language with my friend and others, and then I want to start talking with about technique, you know, how does it work? Like, can I make a hole in the wall and pass the headphones? And how can we, you know, realize how technique that involves, how much that would cost, and this kind of things. I need someone with me for the track, or if I can do everything on my own. This kind of question.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll be in touch. See what happens next week.
Yes, I have an idea. Maybe I write you.
Great. Send me an email.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for the talk. See you next week.
Bye. See you next week. Ciao.